You collect rulers. You collect rulers? I never heard of that. And actually, what that's done is it's just spurred me on.
Tell me about the dream. What's your dream as far as the rulers go?
My ruler dreams would be number one. I think I'm the only one who appreciates. I've only run into a couple other people who pick up rulers, and I don't think they. I don't think they really are. I don't have any sense that they appreciate what they are in terms of like the history of the advertising and the history of the country, and the fact people are just giving these away. Some people have just. Some people collect them for advertising, in an advertising collection. So I've run into people who have one or two rulers. They don't want to give them up because it's part of their advertising collection. One of the reasons it interests me is I don't think anybody else is doing it seriously, and I think it has to be done. The other thing I would like to do is I really would like to, in a sense, chronicle the industrial age in America through this thing. And I have this. Number one, I got to get on a plane to Vermont sometime and hit all the collectible stores back there. The other thing, I think if I had enough of these, I could have a little display in a museum. You know, go to some museum, say I've got these American history things, and all these people who are not interested in rulers and think it's a silly little hobby, you could train your camera on people as they go through the museum, and you'd watch them lean into it and read everything and enjoy it and see how beautiful some of these rulers are. They're using wood in these rulers. The wood they used is just, it's incredible. I mean, you can't find that kind of wood for houses now. I mean, I don't think people should cut down oak trees to make rulers anymore. That'd be a bad idea, but there's just some beautiful, beautiful wood. And some businesses are still putting out yardsticks, but it's just flimsy pine, and they want to charge you. Well, I ran into one the other day. Somebody wanted 50 cents for their yardstick, hawking their, whatever business it was, and that kind of annoyed me, because all this other beautiful wood. So at any rate, I think it'll be real interesting to have a display in a museum and train a camera on these people, and you wait and see how it'll be praised up and down. It's a beautiful thing, and I won't look silly. And my nightmare, that's my dream. My nightmare is it's like 40 years from now, and Charles Kuralt's 112 years old, and he's still traveling the road, and he's going to show up and knock on my door, and I'm going to be just as loony as Charles Kuralt, and he's going to be interviewing this loony man with 10,000 rulers, and then I die, and somebody sets fire to him or something.
How'd you first become interested in rulers?
I had no interest in rulers at all until I ran into this guy in Los Angeles named Greg Burns. He's an actor down there and a terrific, funny guy. And he'd studied art at some school in Los Angeles, a big one in Pasadena. It's apparently just the most wonderful place in the world to go. Well, one quarter he had to make an art object out of found objects. So he went out and he just went to a bunch of different hardware stores and got yardsticks from every one. And so he has this thing on his wall that's 3 feet by 3 feet made out of yardsticks. Just hooked them together. And I thought it was really pretty. So I said, do you mind if I do that? I'll go out and get some old yardsticks and steal this idea from you. And he said, no, go ahead. And so I started looking for yardsticks, but most yardsticks are beaten up. They've been used too much, and they're real dark and not attractive at all. But during the course of this search, I started seeing these little rulers, these little 6-inch rulers that the lettering on them, the wood, they're just, and so I started picking them up with the idea of just getting exactly 6-inch rulers and maybe making one little one and hanging it in the kitchen or something. And now I've got like 100 rulers, and about 70 of them I think are actually damn good rulers. Damn good rulers.
Did you ever collect anything else?
I've never collected anything in my life. I think collectors, there's something strange about it. That kind of passion, that baseball card stuff, Star Trek stuff, bottles. I have no idea. And they probably have their own, some of them are just nutty. I mean, bottles actually probably chronicle something. Baseball cards. But so many people are doing all of those. Dolls are big collectible items. Lunch buckets are big collectible items. It's like you go to these places and everybody's after the same thing. And I'll go through these collectibles, some places that we have 50 booths. You walk through and you maybe find 2 rulers in the entire place, and they're just tucked away down on a bottom shelf. It's like they got in some desk or something, and they found these rulers in it, and they didn't really expect to sell it. And there's a few people just but what I've found is there's been a couple of places the people behind the counter will say, you collect rulers? You collect rulers? I never heard of that. And actually what that's done is it's just spurred me on, because I figure the cat's going to get out of the bag here, and there's going to be a lot of choice rulers I'm going to be fighting for. And I want my collection made before it happens.
Do you know of anyone else who's collecting rulers?
The only other person I ran into, one woman at a antique mall in Berkeley that said her aunt collected rulers in Florida, and this woman was my age, so the aunt's probably some screwy old woman in her 90s, you know, down there retired. And the other one is a woman who actually has a collectible booth. She lives, I got her card somewhere, she lives down on the peninsula. And she said, oh, that's interesting. She said, I collect rulers too. I have about 100 of them. And she keeps them in a drawer, and she doesn't have much interest in them other than they're cheap. And I tried to do anything. I said, well, you've got any to trade? No. You got any you'd like to sell? No. Would you like to weed out that old collection? No. She was just interested that she met somebody else. But in a way, I'd kind of like to run into somebody that could indulge in ruler talk. You know, the company, the American manufacturing concern in Falconer, and the Westcott Company, and a lot of other ones. There's one here in San Francisco called the Fred S. Bain Company. God only knows how many people were making rulers. I'm telling you, it was an industry. Had, near as I can tell, half the population were farmers, and the other half was selling them rulers. You know, we should start looking at this.
What does your wife think about this?
You know, she when I first started doing it, she thought it was really weird, and she still does think it's really weird. But it's gone from a thing where she thinks I need therapy over it to a thing that it kind of amuses her in a way, and she's actually starting to appreciate a good ruler when I bring it home. If I say, take a look at this ruler, she can actually go genuinely, ooh, that was a nice one. I got a ruler for $6 Saturday, and she saw knocked her on her butt. But overall, I think she thinks she still thinks it's a little bit strange. But I don't drink. I gamble in Tahoe once a year. Man, got to do something. Man's got to live. I think she thinks it's a hobby for a fuddy-duddy. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of that.
So what do you have there?
What I have here, just to show you the difference in what they used to give away. This is the Holbrook, Maryland Stetson Company, goods of quality. But look at the size of that. I mean, well, it's 3 feet long. It's a yardstick. But the thickness of it and the width of it, it's a solid piece of yardstick. You know what I'm saying? It's a solid yardstick. Now, here's one from a company. I should probably cover the company name since I got the other day. It's a company over in Berkeley, and they're very nice people. It's a collectible store, as a matter of fact, and they were handing these out, and that's a nice thing to do, hand them out. But just look at the difference in the thickness and the width. This is just a really, you could snap it like a toothpick. And this would, if you actually look, this has got a very, it has a wonderfully tight grain, you know. It's really old wood, and I think it'd be like criminal to lose this stuff. But just the difference in them is shocking, what they gave away. But I'll give it to this company. They still at least give them away. This, and look at the amenities here. You got a hole in this one. You can hang it somewhere. You see any amenities like this now? No, they can't be troubled to put a hole in a yardstick now.
You just put it under your chin a bit. Can you tell me what you were telling me about how you came to have the magazine?
My wife got me this magazine to show me what old collectors looked like. But I did find the phone number for those 3 people in Oregon who are sending me rulers. So if you ask me, the joke backfired on her big time. But she was also thinking of me. If there's an antique advertising collection on it, and she thought maybe there might be something I wanted to go to. Well, you want to hear about my most expensive ruler? That's got one. It's time to smoke a deerhead cigar. It's Henry T. Offerdinger in Northwest Washington, D.C. And the reason I paid $37.50 for this ruler, 6 inches. But on the back it has the official American League schedule for 1922, the games at Washington. So I thought that was really, I just thought that was worth 37 bucks. I like this. The E. Jacopetti Sandwich Shop, number 1 Columbus Avenue, San Francisco. You turn it over and it says, E. Jacopetti, bail bond broker, number 5 Columbus Avenue. And he's got 2 phone numbers, so he's hawking 2 businesses with 1 ruler. Let's see. What are the other ones that... Oh, some of them are funny because I got like this. A good rule, love thy neighbor as thyself. Put out by the Wilmot Gas and Oil Company in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Love thy neighbor as thyself. These big greasy guys, is this their philosophy of life? Well, I probably shouldn't make fun of them, but maybe it is. This is for the Durant car, which disappeared somewhere in the Depression. And it just says, Durant, just a real good car. So it started really simply. Started real simple. I was just gonna collect yardsticks. And the yardsticks, when I started looking at them, most of them are just beat to hell. People actually use the yardsticks. And a lot of these 6-inch rulers and 1-foot rulers, I think just got, somebody hand them out and they take them home and they put them in a drawer and they were very rarely used. So a lot of them are in really good condition. But the 6-inch rulers, I ran into one, Oh Boy Gum. It's Oh Boy Gum. Oh Boy Gum makes children happy. Oh Boy Gum. I ran into that. Well, it's a foot, so I have to expand my collection. I have to go to the foot. So you do that, and then next thing you know, you find a 15-incher, and you go, I don't collect 15-inch rulers, but you find a beauty until all of a sudden you're looking at a 6-foot ruler, and you're out of your mind, but you're handing somebody money for a 6-foot ruler. And now I've got rulers that are made out of metal, rulers that are made out of celluloid, rulers that are made out of that go in your pocket. Rulers. I got a pencil box here. This is a 9-inch ruler. It's a 9-inch ruler. I paid $22 for the thing. $22 for a ruler pencil box. And so it kind of grows all by itself, but I keep finding odd ones that are different shaped. I have one down here that's shaped like a saw. It's a mustache comb from a company in Seattle. It's 4 inches. So what I'm saying basically is the rule to rulers is a constantly expanding thing, and you have to be you, you have to be open. You got any rulers, man? Hey man, you got any rulers up there?